Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, guys, I'm going to be telling you why I believe Cardano is in for a good week to come. We're going to cover a number of things in this video. We're going to be, of course, looking at the charts, the 4-hourly, the daily, and the weekly. Now, a lot of people messaged me today saying, hang on, Cardano's down like 6%. And I said to them, go and watch yesterday's video. We said that that was going to happen. You do tend to come down after these moves back to your EMA. There's like a gravity effect with these EMAs. And ultimately, that's exactly what's happened. What we said was going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball. We just know based on probability what is and is not likely to happen in this market. Ultimately, guys, everything's fine. Remember, we don't want that kind of parabolic growth. We want that nice, steady growth after this period of consolidation. And ultimately, guys, we have been consolidating for so long now that the move that we will get when this thing decides it wants to start going is going to surprise a lot of people. You guys know I think Cardano is going to $7.50 and beyond more than likely. We mapped out the Elliot wave theory with you guys. We mapped out some complex Elliott wave theory, and that's how we got to our kind of price prediction of $7.50. We'll touch on that towards the end of the video. But ultimately, what you're seeing right now is nothing to worry about. This is absolutely fine. This is part and parcel with what's happening. You know, these things don't happen overnight. And why is it I believe we are in for a green week in the crypto space? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin needs to do something. We have Plan B stock to flow. We have a number of other metrics that are suggesting that Bitcoin needs to start getting a move on very, very soon. And ultimately, guys, we've kept you updated with Bitcoin on our Cardano videos because ultimately Bitcoin is that driver of value. It's the big boy in the space. What he says goes. And essentially, you know, it's the value. You know, if Bitcoin sells off, the rest of the market is likely to sell off. You will have a couple of pariahs that just decide they don't want to adhere to what the chief's saying. But ultimately, we showed you this inverse head and shoulders. Have you now got another inverse head and shoulders that's setting up and is yet to be validated? I believe you do, in my opinion. I believe Bitcoin is going to go over $60,000 this week, come in quite easily, and we're going to see where we get to. We have a lot as the kind of days unfold. We'll be reviewing the charts, of course, and we'll be kind of coming up with, you know, where we think things are going. But ultimately, I think you have some beautiful structure setting up in Bitcoin, which is going to bring the entire market up, which is going to coincide with what we said. We're going to come down, we're going to test this EMA. What I'd like to see is us go through it, not go through our resistance that we showed you on the prior video, and then pop back above it. So we have another exhausting, like we did here, of those sellers ready for an impulsive move. And ultimately, that EMA is going to drive you up. Essentially, that's exactly what we think is going to happen, guys. You know, you're going to have a move like this. Perhaps you don't need to go below this EMA at all. You could essentially do something like this, you know, just touch it and kind of, you know, get acquainted once more before you then move upwards. But we like what we're seeing. There's nothing bearish here whatsoever. It's good sometimes to have a little bit of a release. You know, we don't just want to shoot up. Well, we do and we don't. Lots of people out there would like for that to happen. However, you know, we all know the story of the hare and the tortoise, guys. You know, that's kind of how it goes. And ultimately, you want steady growth. And that really shows that this project is valuable and being accumulated. Remember, I think it's like over 70% of every single ADA token out there is staked. That shows a real vote of confidence. And what I ultimately want to talk to you guys about is, you know, now we've looked at the charts a little bit, I want to talk to you about why Cardano is so valuable. We always try and look at a macro scale in regards to projects. And the reason we do that is because it's so important for me to make sure that you guys out there understand what you are investing in. You are investing in a new technology that is going to play a fundamental role in the world that we are moving towards. We are moving towards a new world, ladies and gentlemen, and blockchain technology is going to be at the helm of it. And a coin like Cardano that has real fundamentals, real use case, is onboarding an entire populace of a continent, is going to play a fundamental role in that. And the price, of course, is going to appreciate as a result. I'm excited. And that's why I come on here every day to tell you about it, because this is a passion of mine. This is not my job. I own a business in the healthcare sector, and that takes up all my time. This is a hobby and a passion of mine. And I want to make sure, I had a lot more hair on my head when I first got into cryptos, that you guys maintain those hair follicles, that you are smarter going into this than I perhaps was back in 2017, where I had to kind of learn and make all the mistakes for myself. Cardano is going to do exceptionally well. Selling $7.50, and we'll skim past the Elliot wave theory towards the end of the video. We think is relatively conservative, believe it or not. And there's a lot of people saying it's not going to happen. Remember, you have so much to come for this project, guys. We think we're going to be in a green week next week. We're yet to see. We've got a lot of calls right so far. But what I want to do is we touched on this article in the video that I made prior to this, where we just keep it real with you guys. We really put out some vids for the subs, the people that are new to the space. We want to get them to understand what they're a part of. World Economic Forum. Blockchain could disrupt an $867 trillion in traditional markets. We're at $2.4 trillion, guys. And a lot of people don't think that can happen. All assets will eventually be tokenized, from stocks, bonds to commodities. At least that's the perspective of many crypto industry executives who predict that most, if not all, of modern finance will eventually run on digital rails. Just put it on the blockchain, as it were. Such things lurk behind a new report from the World Economic Forum, the organisation whose annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland, has been blah, 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 blah. Now, why is this from the Economic Forum so important? Well, look at some of the board members on the Economic Forum. You have Christine Lagarde, the European Central Bank President. You have BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink. BlackRock have billions and billions of dollars under assets. You have Carlyle Group Executive Chairman David Rubenstein. You have the Indian billionaire businessman Mukesh Ambani. You have, this is the way that it's going, and ultimately down here, and we touched on it in greater detail in the other video. This is a Cardano video, but a coin like Cardano that could play a crucial role. We see on Binance that they have tokenized Tesla. We have their tokenized coin, which is the Coinbase stock. I'm sure the US are foaming at the mouth about that, but hey ho, that's neither here nor there. We know Binance kind of acting a bit of a grey area. Cardano essentially could play a fundamental role. Not only is it solving supply chains, it's solving educational systems, financial systems, identification systems, voting systems, etc., etc., etc. They could also play a crucial role, and you could tokenize these assets on top of Cardano. And I'm a big fan of the project. I'm a big fan of Charles Hoskinson. Yes, I know he's a bit like Marmite. Some people love or hate him. But ultimately, the guy is honest and stands on what he believes in, and I can do nothing but respect that. And this project's going to do very well. And every time we sell off in this market, the same way when we corrected not that long ago and everything sold off, we stood here in front of you, or sat here in front of you, I should say, and said everything's fine. Every time we have a pullback, we come out and say that. We say this is just a pullback. This could be a great buying opportunity, a good time to accumulate. I'm like that Dalek. Instead of exterminate, I'm accumulate. We're moving towards a new world, ladies and gentlemen, and blockchain technology is going to play a crucial role in it. I say to you on a number of occasions that it's akin to the internet. This is Amazon back in the dot-com boom. They do the same thing with everything. They crash it before positioning themselves in a position to profit from it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see the similarity in the structure. Go back to my early Bitcoin videos where we talk about this, where we hadn't even broken our all-time highs, and we were saying the exact same thing that we're saying now. Amazon in the dot-com boom, Bitcoin in 2017. They crash it, they position themselves, they accumulate it, and then they send it to the moon, guys. And whether you're on board or not is really your choice. You have a fantastic opportunity setting up in the crypto space. We love Cardano. We're really on board with it. I like Charles Hoskinson. I like the fact that he is trying to help an impoverished continent. Somebody said to me as well, I think people don't feel like I have any right to talk about Africa for whatever reason. And a lot of people keep saying, look, Africa's not a country. I'm well aware of that. And that I was kind of stupid for saying that Africa was a poor continent as a whole. Africa is the poorest continent. There's strategic reasons, of course, why Cardano is over there, but I think Charles has expressed on a number of occasions he has a love for that continent, he has a love for the countries inside of that continent, and is genuinely trying to help, benefit the populace of Africa as a whole, and the populace of these countries in Africa as a whole. And you can't do anything but stand behind that. I have family that spent a lot of time in Africa as volunteers. It is what it is, guys. So that's all I have for you in this video. Don't panic. Do not fear. All in Crypto is here. I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope it's not been too long. Go and read this article on CoinDesk. Gives you a kind of a perspective of where we're perhaps moving towards, and why, it's a great time to be alive, and it's a great time to be in blockchain technology. So that's all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Everything looks great. The 4-hourly looks great. The daily looks fine. We'll quickly skim past that. You know, we have that $7 price prediction based on the Elliot wave theory that we have mapped out for you. We think we've got that fifth wave to come. You know, the daily looks absolutely fine, guys. In fact, you know, it looks like you could be starting a bit of one of these moves, you know. After that period of consolidation, let's drop it to a weekly, and let's quickly map out, for those of you who don't know and are new to the channel, you know, you have your 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave in Elliot wave theory, and we've had our 4th wave. I'd like to have seen us come a little bit lower, and that is still probably a possibility, but we'll cover it when we get there. And you've got your 5th wave. Now, the 5th wave in traditional markets, for those of you who follow the Elliot wave theory, is usually about the same size as the first. It's definitely smaller than the third, but in the commodities market, the 5th wave is biggest. I think the cryptocurrency market, the 5th wave is going to be absolutely huge and take us to around about $7.50 with smaller Elliot waves like we've had prior involved in them. So that's all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to not overload you with information. Get subbed to one of the fastest and realest growing YouTube channels out there, because I know the other kind of content that other people are putting out on Cardano, and it's garbage. I'm not afraid to say that, and I'll stand on what I've just said. There are some good people who cover this subject, but the majority of people, you know, I would question whether they even own any Cardano. It's neither here nor there, guys. People have got to make a living at the end of the day. Like I say, this is my passion, not my job. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Get subbed, get liking, get commenting. I do read all your comments, and they are duly appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen.